It's kind of fascinating. It's really meant to be driven by the community, not some central boss.
Exactly. We're looking at an FAQ doc that breaks it down.
Yeah, so our mission is basically to unpack that, how this decentralized pricing actually works. Let's get into it.
Okay, so the first big thing, the price you see in real time. It's not coming from a company HQ.
Right.
It's being set on decentralized exchanges, DXs. Think APTM DEX, for instance.
You know, do EXs, like peer-to-peer crypto market.
Pretty much. And the price there boils down to these liquidity pair ratios.
Liquidity pair ratios. Okay, like APTM traded against USDT. What does that actually mean in practice if I want to buy some APTM?
Yeah, think of it like a scale,
Yeah.
If more people are putting in USDT to buy APTM,
Mm-hmm.
that demand kind of tips the scale. APTM gets a bit pricier relative to USDT.
And the other way around. If
Yeah,
people are selling,
exactly. More APTM being sold for USDT means more supply on that side, so the price dips a little. It's just, well, supply and demand playing out right there in the open.
no central planner fiddling with it.
None.
Okay, so this liquidity, the APTM USDT sitting there waiting to be traded, it's not held by the exchange itself.
That's a key point. It's community owned.
Hmm.
People, liquidity providers or LPs,
Well, base,
are
right?
the ones who put up both APTM and USDT, usually an equal value, into these pools.
And why would they do that? Just to be helpful?
Well, partly, maybe,
Yeah.
but there's a direct incentive. LPs earn trading fees. Every time someone swaps between APTM and USDT using their liquidity, the LPs get a small cut of that transaction fee.
So it rewards people for actually supporting the market.
Yeah.
Makes it more robust, I guess. Less dependent on one big player.
Precisely. It's a core part of that decentralized idea.
Now, beyond just trading, APTM itself,
It's
it does stuff, right? It's not just a ticker symbol. It's got a job in the APTM ecosystem.
Oh, absolutely. That's crucial. The FAQ really highlights this APTM as the gas.
Gas, like for transactions.
Yeah, like fuel for the network. Pretty much anything you want to do in the APTM world needs a little bit of APTM to make it happen.
Like what kind of things?
Claiming rewards, using smart contracts, obviously trading, deploying new apps, even like bridging assets over from other blockchains. All those actions require APTM.
Okay, so there's this constant underlying need for it just to make things work.
Right. That creates a fundamental demand. It's not just speculation driving the value. It has this, intrinsic utility.
Got it. Then there are the miners. They bring new APTM into existence, correct?
Correct. APTM is mined.
But they don't just dump it all at once. They decide when to sell.
Exactly. Miners control that initial supply flow. They make economic decisions when is a good time to sell based on the market price versus maybe holding on to it.
So that adds another layer of real-world economics to the supply side. People making choices.
Definitely. It's not just an automated tap.
Is there anything stopping miners just coordinating to, like, flood the market?
Well, the market itself is the check. If they all sold massively at once, the price would likely tank, which hurts their own bottom line. So there's a kind of natural disincentive against really extreme moves.
Okay, that makes sense. So we got DAXs setting the core price.
Mm-hmm.
What about the big names people might know, like MEXC or LBank, the centralized exchanges, or CEXs?
Yeah, good question. How do they fit in? The FAQ basically says they tend to follow the DXs.
Follow.
Their price feeds and the liquidity they offer often sync up with or are derived from what's happening on DXs like APTM DX, especially those key pairs like USDT.APTM.
So they're essentially looking at the community-driven price on the DX and using that as their reference.
Pretty much, yeah. They're mirroring that price discovery that's happening decentrally.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. The APTM price isn't some fixed number pulled out of thin air.
Not at all. It's this dynamic thing.
Driven by what? Community demand playing out on DXs.
Right, those liquidity pool ratios reacting.
The actual need for APTM as gas for the network.
Miners deciding when to introduce new supply.
And then the CEX is largely reflecting all that activity.
Exactly. It really is, as the source puts it, like true decentralized price discovery, powered by the users, not a boardroom.
So for you listening, the takeaway is that the value of APTM is, in a very real way, tied to how the community actually uses and interacts with it.
Yeah, which leads to a bigger thought, maybe. If you think about where digital assets are heading, what does it really mean when value is so directly linked to community activity and ownership, not just a corporate decision?
That's definitely something to chew on. Think about that as a genuinely community-powered asset. How does understanding these mechanics change how you view this whole evolving digital space? Thanks for joining this deep dive.